Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled, Are Our Grandchildren Going to Laugh at Us, Look Down Upon Us? Regarding the Beit HaMikdash. We look back in history, we look at the Meraglim, and we say, what? 10 of you? Giants, Nasiim? What were you thinking? We don't want to go into Israel. A generation before that, 80% of the Jews going to Rashi and the Medrash, and some even more than that, didn't leave Egypt because they didn't see the Geula. Are you crazy? A few generations ahead, we were exiled from the Mikdash. 70 years later, we heard from Uriah that we're going to come back. Ezra's leading the way back. And only 42,000 came, intermarried Jews who knew nothing. All the great people stayed in Bavel. What were you thinking? And many of us in this generation see the revival of the state of the nation, and we look to many Jews in exile. What are you thinking? But guess what? I have a message to all the Jews here in Israel. I wonder if in a generation or two or three or less, they're going to look at all of us and say, what are you thinking? We'll say, what do you mean? We made Aliyah. We left our families, our businesses, our friends, our schools. What do you mean? We learn Torah. We said like it's yeshivas, and they're involved. Each one in their own special way. This one's in the army. This one is at Hezed. This one's yeshiva. This one's a rebbe. What do you mean? What are you laughing at us for? What are you mocking us? I say, what do you do about the Mikdash? What do you do about the Mikdash? I say, what do you mean? What do you do with the Mikdash? I don't know. It's going to fall from Shemayim. There's a Tanchuma. It's going to fall from Shemayim. What do you mean? There's 200 mitzvahs connected to the Mikdash, Sanhedrin, Tumah, Tahara, Korbanos, Lishachas Gazes. What do you do about it? I don't know. I'm just waiting. And I am a little nervous. I should say a lot nervous. That when groups are in the middle of something and it's in the moment happening, they don't realize how crazy they are. The 80% that died in Egypt, they thought they were great and normal. The 10 Meraglim and all the Klal Yisrael in the Midbar thought they were great and normal. All the people that stayed in Bavel, they were great. We have to write Talmud Bavli. We have work to be done. And there's things to be done. And all the Jews who don't come home now we got things to do. Everyone thinks they're great. And all the Jews here in Israel, rabbis and laymen alike, no, we're fine. Not the Mikdash. Oh, we daven to the Mikdash. I go to the Kotel once in a while. I hear every tefillah. Here, so I say it with a lot of fervor. We do anything about it in a real way? You'll say, well, halachically, we're not supposed to. It's 3 words in Parshas Truma. V'asuli Mikdash, make a Mikdash. The Rambam, the-codifies, Shulchan Aruch doesn't talk about this, says asuli Mikdash means you have to make a Mikdash. That's Hilchos Beis Bechira. You say, no, but there's other place that Mashiach is going to build it. It's going to fall from Shemaim. Do we even take this as a serious topic to look into? The 3 words in the Torah, asuli Mikdash, codified by the Rambam, you must build a Mikdash. So we're just going to go ahead and get off the topic. Well, there's a Rambam in Hilchos Malachim that says that Mashiach's going to do it. So I guess that's the end of the topic. There's a Rashi over there that says it's going to fall from Shema. So I guess we're off the topic. Do we treat this like a serious sugya? Do we really care? In a real way, this should be burning in certain communities when there's Shabbos violations. They go crazy. And good, they have a hafkanah, according to however legitimate hafkanah is, how to go about it. And when Gush Katif is being given up, we're going to have a hafkanah. We're going to fight. We fight. We show when we care about something. Each group shows when they care about something. Do you see any passion and fervor? Major studies going on about looking into the Beis HaMikdash mitzvah. What do we do about it? How do we go about it? We pass him by the Rambam Hilchos Mashiach. What do we do in the Geret Teiman when he says no mitzvah should be wait for Mashiach? We have to do everything now. Do we care? Do we search? Do we look in the articles about this? Are we moving? Is Mechon Mikdash from Rav Ariel's sheet just a nice place to visit? And one day we'll have the Mikdash. I don't think it's burning in Klal Yisrael. And I'm sorry to say, I'm not saying, the psak for sure is you have to build it. I'm saying it is a serious thing with some shitas that definitely say you should be building right away and doing everything to make sure that happens and moving all political and other kinds of actions forward. And those say not, but it's a sugya, and we're not in the sugya. in my opinion, in a serious way. And I'm sorry to say I'm nervous that the way we look down on the Meraglim and the people in Egypt and all the people that joined Korach, heads of Sanhedrin, and all the people who stayed in Bavel, and the way we look down at all those, I'm a little nervous that in a generation or two or three or less, to look at what were you guys doing? 67, I gave you the area of the Mikdash, you did nothing. It's Hashem that will be in his over. So awakening in Klal Yisrael to take this topic seriously and spend hundreds of hours of efforts of learning. And if the conclusion is, yes, go build it, then work on somehow moving that ahead. And if that's not the conclusion, then figure out how to move it ahead in one way or another. But it should be bo'er, burning inside of us, this topic of the Mikdash. And the 200 mitzvos, 30% or so of the Torah, it's missing.